Today is IU's bicentennial. And hence, of course, it is our Founders' Day. IU was created exactly 200 years ago on January 20, 1820, when its establishment was signed into law. So I am delighted to welcome you to the first in a number of events in what is going to be a day-long celebration of Indiana University's founding 200 years ago. This morning, we gather to officially launch one of the fastest university-owned artificial intelligence supercomputers in the nation. This new computer, appropriately named Big Red 200, is replacing our enormously successful Big Red 2 Cray supercomputer, which began its service in 2013. Big Red 200 will support advanced research at IU in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analytics, but also in dozens and dozens of other areas of scientific and medical research. It is almost 300 times faster than the original Big Red supercomputer installed on this campus 15 years ago. IU supercomputers have been heavily used by hundreds of IU researchers, scientists, and students across the university, and they have contributed to a major increase in competitive research awards to Indiana University. In 2018 alone, IU was awarded $185 million in research grant awards directly supported by the university's high-performance computing systems. As I look out on the audience, I'm delighted to see a number of university senior leaders present here with us today, many members of the staff of University Information Technology Services, and many other friends of the university. And I'm especially pleased to welcome a number of members of the Board of Trustees of Indiana University. And I ask them to stand for our greetings, and could you please hold your applause until all are standing. Joining us today are Mary Ellen K. Bishop of Carmel, Molly C. Connor of Indianapolis, our student trustee, Donna B. Spears of Richmond, and Melanie S. Walker of Bloomington. Please join me in welcoming our trustees. I can't help but note that we have at the moment a record number of women on the Board of Trustees of Indiana University. And they are all here today. Artificial intelligence can be regarded as having been founded as a discipline in the mid-1950s, and its essential mathematical underpinnings having been developed in the 1930s and 40s. From its founding, it has seen periods of extensive investment, enthusiasm, and progress interspersed with periods of consolidation and reevaluation. But it is now the overwhelming consensus of industry and academia that AI has finally entered the mainstream of society and research. The evidence all around is completely compelling. To give just one example, in a recent report by a task force charged with developing an AI research strategy in France and Europe, mathematician and member of the French Parliament, Cédric Villani, who incidentally cites as a fundamental influence on the writings of IU distinguished Professor Doug Hofstadter, writes that its visionary nature makes artificial intelligence one of the most fascinating scientific endeavors of our time. It is, he continues, no longer merely a research field confined to laboratories or a specific application. It will become one of the keys to the future. Of particular significance and importance in this report was its recommendation for the acquisition of a supercomputer with an architecture designed specifically for AI, which exactly reflects the strategy that IU has already implemented. Indiana University has been a center of research in a number of areas of AI for many years, and in 2019 we established a formal AI initiative. The first phase of this was the announcement in June of IU's acquisition of its new Big Red 200 AI supercomputer. The second phase was the announcement of an extraordinary generous gift of $60 million by Fred Luddy to support the establishment of an AI center with a focus on digital health and medicine to be based in what is now the Luddy School of Informatics, Computing and Engineering. And the groundbreaking for the building that will house the centre will take place within the next few months. And we expect that further phases of this initiative will be announced in the months ahead. So it is fitting that today, on the exact date of the 200th anniversary of one of the nation's leading research universities, we gather to dedicate Big Red 200, one of the centerpieces of IU's newest initiative, in an area of rapidly growing global importance aimed at ensuring that we will continue to lead in education and research as we begin our third century. There is no question that in the 21st century, the supercomputer more broadly is one of the mainstays of both theoretical and applied science. In the areas of climate modelling, genome analysis, protein folding, molecular modelling, nuclear fusion research, and in many, many other disciplines, including in the social sciences and some areas of the humanities, scholars and scientists are working with hugely complicated calculations and vast data sets and seeking to solve problems that are becoming more and more complex. All of them benefit from, and indeed fundamentally require, advances in processing power. For the past 20 years, Indiana University has pushed the boundaries of high-speed computing to support the world-class research being conducted by IU scientists and scholars. In 2001, we acquired the first university-owned supercomputer capable of calculations at the rate of 1 teraflop, or 1 trillion mathematical operations per second. In 2006, IU's Big Red supercomputer announced what was then the fastest academic supercomputer in the Western Hemisphere. Capable of calculations at the rate of over 20 teraflops, Big Red allowed our researchers to analyze and store massive amounts of data and to perform groundbreaking simulations of biological phenomena. It was also a tremendous resource for the state as we collaborated with groups across Indiana, including the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, to expand the benefits of Big Red's power. Many of you were with us in this very space in 2013 when we dedicated Big Red 2, which was capable of calculations at a peak speed of 1 petaflop, that is 1,000 trillion mathematical operations per second. And some of you probably remember we had a surprise guest that day, which was Meryl Streep. I'm afraid I don't believe she's here today unless she stuck in somewhere and we didn't notice. Big Red 2, over that period of time, accelerated discovery and facilitated new research by hundreds of IU scientists and scholars right across the university, including in medicine, biology, physics, chemistry, astronomy, network science, sustainability science, global climate research, public health, and of course, informatics, computer science, and engineering. But at nearly 7 years old, Big Red 2 is completely obsolete in terms of both speed and the specialized requirements of AI computations. The supercomputer we dedicate today, Big Red 200, will ensure that IU remains at the forefront in the use of high-speed and data-intensive computing in support of some of the most vital and complex research in the world. It is the fastest supercomputer in the state of Indiana and one of the fastest university-owned AI-capable supercomputers in the nation. A recent article noted that supercomputers are the only machines that offer the tools and technologies that organizations will inevitably need as they embrace the next wave of IU growth. Big Red 200's impressive AI capabilities will allow IU researchers to understand phenomena in the natural world that simply cannot be understood otherwise, and to make breakthrough discoveries in a wide range of research areas, including the early diagnosis of breast cancer and neurodegenerative diseases such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Big Red 200 was originally planned to have a theoretical top speed of nearly 6 petaflops, 6 times faster than its predecessor. In fact, I'm pleased to announce that it will be even faster still, as nearly 2 additional petaflops of computing speed are to be added within the bounds of the existing contract due to some very new technology that will be incorporated, making Big Red 200 1/3 faster than was originally announced. As the program for today's event notes, it would take the entire population of the state of Indiana more than 28 years, performing 1 calculation per second around the clock to perform the same number of calculations that Big Red 200 can perform in just 1 second. Inscribed on Big Red 200's decorative panel covers are the names of more than 300 academic disciplines that will benefit from its enormous computational capacity. It will play a major role in the recruitment of new faculty in many of these fields, as its predecessors did so well. And it will also help to add knowledge-intensive jobs in the state of Indiana, particularly in the state's growing life sciences economy. An initiative such as this, of course, requires the corporate efforts of many, many people, and many of them are in this room. Indiana University Information Technology Services have done a superb job in leading IU's acquisition of Big Red 200 and bringing it online, as they did with all of its predecessors. I especially want to recognize Brad Wheeler, who succeeded me as Vice President of Information Technology and CIO, and many other colleagues. And maybe I can ask these three in particular to stand. Matt Link, Associate Vice President for Research Technologies, Dave Hancock, Director for Advanced Cyber Infrastructure, and Craig Stewart, Executive Director of Pervasive Technology Institute, has been such a central figure. Where's Craig? He's right over there, too. So please join me in thanking the three of them. We are most grateful to them and to all of their colleagues for their outstanding efforts in leading us to this day. I also want to express my thanks to Charles Moriel, for whom we'll hear in a few minutes, and to our partners in Cray Incorporated, a company that bears the name of one of the most legendary figures, maybe the most legendary figure in the history of supercomputing. I want to thank Vice President Tom Morrison and his staff at the IU Physical Plant, who were involved in the installation of Big Red 200, including its critical cooling system. Big Red 200 then will return Indiana University to the forefront of academic high-speed computing and will allow the university to continue to reap the benefits of its position as a leader in information technology. The phenomenal success of the original Big Red and its successor Big Red 2 demonstrated that investing in high-speed computing returns dividends many times over in the form of scientific advances, research funding, and job creation. Big Red 200 will allow us to build further upon the success as it serves as a driver of progress at the beginning of Indiana University's third century of service to the state, the nation, and the world. And now it is my great pleasure to welcome to the podium IU's Vice President of Information Technology and Chief Information Officer, and also Vice President for Communications and Marketing, Bradley C. Wheeler.
Well, the temperature is quite cold outside today. Big Red 200 is already humming and quite warm with its almost 100,000 CPU computing cores situated in multiple 7,000-pound chassis units. Big Red 200 is but the newest, the most sophisticated, and the most technologically advanced supercomputer at any university in the nation. It represents a number of firsts for Indiana University and also for Cray. It is the first Cray Shasta supercomputer system delivered in the world. We beat the Air Force by 7 days. It arrived on January 8th, and after being completely assembled in Chippewa Falls and initially tested there. This summer, Big Red 200 will be the first Shasta system to receive leading-edge NVIDIA graphical processing units that will accelerate IU's advances in artificial intelligence research and applications. It will be the first supercomputer at IU to be water-cooled all the way to the motherboard using unchilled water to increase its energy efficiency. And it is the first of its kind in the Cray Shasta series that will see 5 new systems placed at federal research labs over the next 2 years through awarded contracts of almost $1.4 billion. You see several of those systems in the $500 million range. That's the same architecture of what we're putting in here at IU today. So as we celebrate these first, please know they are just the latest in 20 years of continuity in providing the IU faculty, staff, and students computation, storage, and visualization tools to support their work. That commitment to what we now call research cyber infrastructure took hold and accelerated under then Vice President for IT, Michael McRobbie. It has grown and scaffolded up with each successful system and grant win as a foundation to build for the next. So if you take the tour today, and I encourage you to do so, as it is a rare opportunity to visit our secure and formidable data center, you'll see that Big Red 200 has taken its proper place as the new big dog in the suite of advanced cyber infrastructure that keeps IU research humming. The cover panel art on the front of Big Red 200 was designed by the talented Maria Morris, and you'll see the evolution of information from the dots and dashes of Morse code to the ones and zeros of the digital era to the connectionist networks that are now the hallmark at the frontiers of artificial intelligence. And for those of you who are quick with Morse code or ASCII binary, I'm quite certain that Maria has placed an Easter egg or two in that design. So we'll see how long it takes someone to discover them. Big Red 200 sits alongside the recently renamed Big Red 3, another Cray system that we formerly called Big Red 2 Plus. It provides computational CPU power for some of our largest scale uses, including physics research led by Professor Steve Gottlieb, who I see is here in the audience with us today. You'll see the Jetstream system that was funded by a $14 million grant from the National Sciences Foundation that IU and our partners operate for thousands of researchers across the nation. You'll see the Carbonate system that many IU researchers use for its deep learning AI capabilities that will grow again in the weeks ahead. You'll see the small but mighty computing cluster from the OmniSOC, the Cybersecurity Operations Center that IU leads for the Big Ten universities. Its partner, the Center for Applied Cybersecurity Research, will soon be making use of Big Red 200 to advance the frontiers of protecting us from the growing state of cyber risks around the world. All of these systems are used to capacity to support the faculty, the staff, and the students of Indiana University on all campuses. They are complex devices and are carefully configured by our outstanding research technologies team to support the diverse needs of the humanities, the physical and natural sciences, social sciences, medicine, and literally hundreds of academic disciplines. 20 years ago, that research technologies team, as President McRobbie will remember, was about 30 people. Today, it is almost 120, with almost half funded by IU's wins in federal contracts and grants. Just down the hall and around the corner to my left, you can walk by the Global NOC, the Network Operations Center, that manages the iLight fiber optic network across the state that connects our supercomputers and the data centers to all IU campuses. It also supports 21 additional state, national, and international research networks. In fact, if you check the weather today on your phone, the data that generated that forecast via the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Agency likely traveled on a network managed by the IU Global NOC. I share all of this to affirm that the mighty Big Red 200 joins a sophisticated and highly capable research technologies enterprise with the capabilities to take on one of the world's most advanced new supercomputing systems. I'm extremely proud of the talent, the breadth, and the depth of our mostly homegrown IU team and their passionate commitment to Indiana University. Soon you'll also hear from Charles A. Morial from Cray. Chuck, sitting here in the front row, I am personally grateful, and Indiana University is grateful for all that you and your team have done working closely with us to get that machine here turned on and running for our bicentennial. You have navigated countless complexities to make this a reality here today. So in closing, I again cite James Bryan Conant, president of Harvard, from 1933 to 1953. On August 13th, 1945, almost 75 years ago, he wrote to the New York Times in support of establishing what would become the National Science Foundation. And he said, quote, "There is only one proven method of assisting the advancement of pure science. that of picking men of genius, backing them heavily, and leaving them to direct themselves. Well, I'm certain today that he would say picking men and women of genius, and there's always some constraints on what backing them heavily ultimately means in the real world. But today, and to the faculty, to the students, and the staff of Indiana University, know that your state's leading research university is backing you heavily with highly advanced tools like Big Red 200 to help take your ideas, the frontiers of discovery, and our state to the next level. I now direct your attention to the Sony Crystal Display wall for a short video to hear from just a few of these soon-to-be users of Big Red 200.
This is a big win for researchers in artificial intelligence where we need the latest computation hardware. Big Red 200 will be able to bring that to us.
Big Red 200 will enable researchers to tackle problems of a scale that they cannot today.
With Big Red 200, literally an order of magnitude more processing will be able to be done. So that could have actually transformative impact on my research.
Big Red 200 is really going to help us make significant advances and allow us to analyze large amounts of data rapidly and in a number of creative ways.
It'll just change the way that we are able to deliver resources to IU researchers, which in turn will not only help the state of Indiana, it'll help the nation as well.
Big Red 200 impacts the Indiana economy directly through investment in the system itself, but also attracting additional research dollars to invest in researchers and attract the faculty and graduate students to the state of Indiana.
Big Red 200 is a unique opportunity to do some really amazing work and really get high throughput, faster simulations, better simulations in order to better understand how the climate system works.
With the increased computational power of Big Red 200, we can do many more simulations. So that allows us to better test the model, constrain uncertainty, and test future scenarios of how we use and manage the land.
So we're increasingly getting data from thousands of individuals, and to process 3 billion base pairs in thousands of individuals requires a tool like Big Red 200.
Where we had 800 genomes, we'll now have access to 20,000 genomes. We need much more computation, and the timing couldn't be more perfect for that becoming available this year.
Coupling the Big Red 200 as an advanced AI platform with our operational security infrastructure like OmniSOC really allows us to take cybersecurity research forward in grand ways.
Big Red 200 will give us sort of these unprecedented amount of computation power to be able to train and evaluate kind of the latest state-of-the-art artificial intelligence and machine learning models, and to be able to apply them to new applications in computer vision.
Big Red 200 will be a big help in doing the calculations I need to do to solve some of the mysteries in physics. I'm very much looking forward to using it.
Big Red 200 will be more than great at IU. Big Red 200 is going to be awesome.
Well, that was outstanding. And my thanks to all of the faculty who've contributed to this wonderful video. Of course, just a handful of the hundreds of others who've been involved in research using the supercomputer facilities at IU. And now it is my great pleasure to invite to the podium Charles A. Auriel, who is the Senior Vice President for Field Operations of Cray. Cray is the manufacturer of the Big Red 200 and is a Hewlett-Packard Enterprise company. And he will discuss the significance and importance of IU's latest supercomputer acquisition and their importance more generally in science and engineering. Please welcome him to the podium.
Very impressive. This is amazing work that's being done at Indiana University, and we are very proud to be a partner with Indiana University in bringing Big Red 200 forward on this dedication day, especially in the 200th anniversary of Indiana University. Fantastic. I would like to thank President McRobbie and everybody else here, the distinguished guests who are taking part in this dedication. On behalf of CRAE and HPE, we are so excited to be part of the dedication and to be a partner with Indiana University and to take this wonderful relationship forward as you guys do tremendous amounts of research on this new fantastic platform. Big Red 200 is the first of the CRAE Shasta systems installed worldwide. It will be the fastest university-funded system in the nation. We are extremely proud of this, and you should be proud of this also. CRAE is also proud to support the advanced research that will be done on this system in the areas of AI, machine learning, big data analytics, simulation, and medical research. This will be something that will impact the world, the nation, and everything that's done here at Indiana University. We are embarking on a new era, the exascale era. This is driven by the explosion of data. And the exascale era is the fusion of taking individual workloads in AI, analytics, and simulation, and putting them together in work streams on a single system at scale. Indiana University will be at the forefront of the exascale era and will be working with the same technology that the biggest centers in the world will be using. We are extremely proud of this, and again, we thank you very much for your support and look forward to supporting Indiana University with the great research that will be going on Big Red 200. Thank you very much.
And now, it's my great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Kay Connolly, who is Associate Dean for Research and Professor of Informatics in the Luddy School of Informatics, Computing and Engineering. And she will discuss the vital research role that Big Red 200 will fulfill for our faculty members and their students. So please join me in welcoming Kay Connolly to the podium.
Thank you, President McRobbie, and good morning, everyone. I am really excited to be a part of this dedication ceremony because Indiana University has a proud tradition of being ahead of the curve when it comes to investing in technology infrastructure. We also have a proud tradition of not limiting these investments to the benefit of a few targeted disciplines, but making them available to the entire university community. This open access to technology not only enables advances in scientific inquiry and artistic endeavors, but it has expanded the university learning environment, keeping our students on the cutting edge of technological innovation as they enter the workforce. This investment in technology has earned us the top spot in the rankings for the most wired public university in the nation, and again, as the most unwired university for our leadership in the wireless revolution. Today, I think we need a new ranking, the most intelligent university. And with our acquisition of Big Red 200, I guarantee you we would certainly be at the top of that list. Very few people in the country have access to the enormous computational power for artificial intelligence that Big Red 200 is delivering to IU today. Those who do have comparable access are usually affiliated with a national lab or a supercomputing center, leaving this technology out of reach of most students and faculty. The debut of Big Red 200, accessible to everyone at IU, opens the door for rapid innovation in numerous disciplines. At the Luddy School of Informatics, Computing, and Engineering, our faculty are engaged with projects with massive data sets that are ready to use this infrastructure. Luddy faculty are passionate about wielding technology to address the most pressing problems of the day, such as the grand challenges noted earlier by President McRobbie. In the area of precision health, Luddy faculty are teaming up with medical scientists to create algorithms that significantly improve hearing aids, to predict and prevent gestational diabetes, to cure Parkinson's disease, and to model cancer pathways in order to stop cancer in its tracks. At Indiana University, we are preparing for environmental change. Luddy faculty are modeling changes in the polar ice sheet so that climate scientists can better understand and hopefully slow their melting. And they are working to improve crisis response for when disaster does strike. From hypersonic simulations, to modeling how humans learn, to innovating the next generation of computer architectures, the simulation and deep learning capabilities of Big Red 200 will be positively game-changing. All of these projects incorporate enormous amounts of data that must have a resource like Big Red 200 for analysis. Indeed, Big Red 200 will immediately propel IU scientists throughout the university to the top of their fields. And the results of this work will improve the lives of not only Hoosiers, but of people throughout the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Connolly. Now, I think are we doing a visualization another one? Right. And so as we view the new supercomputer, we come to the key moment of this morning's ceremony, which is the dedication of Big Red 200, which there it is. So will everybody who is able, please stand. Friends and colleagues, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of Indiana University, I am greatly honored to dedicate the Big Red 200 supercomputer. May Big Red 200 contribute powerfully to the acceleration of discovery and to the creation of new research possibilities for Indiana University scholars across a wide range of disciplines. And may all who rely on Big Red 200 come to appreciate the deep commitment to excellence that this new resource symbolizes. So please join me in celebrating the dedication of the Big Red 200 supercomputer with a round of applause. Please be seated. I'd like to thank everybody who joined us to celebrate this dedication. As I said, this is the first of 5 major events today. To go from one end of the technology spectrum to the other. The next one will be the first official playing of the Grand Carillon in the center of the campus, followed by the unveiling of 2 allegorical portraits of Light and Truth in President's Hall, and the reconstruction of Megalonyx jeffersoni, the skeletal remains of a giant sloth that used to inhabit this part of America that were shamefully destroyed many years ago and which have been digitally reconstructed and rebuilt, and that'll be shown later. We have Viola Davis receiving an honorary degree and speaking this afternoon in recognition in particular of MLK Day, and then tonight we will be unveiling the latest mural depicting the history of the university, 1998 to 2020, in the right dining quad. So you can see it's going to be quite a day of activities as well. I'd like to thank the members of the dedication committee and the staff of the Office of the Bicentennial who worked behind the scenes on today's event. The Office of the Bicentennial is about the hardest working office in the university at the moment, with a huge range of these types of functions, one after the other, that we've been having as well. I invite you now to join us for a reception here in the Cyber Infrastructure Building, and then tours of the IU Data Center are also available, so that I'm sure many people here will want to take advantage of this, so you can get an up-close look at Big Red 200. And finally, my thanks to all of you, terrific audience here today. Thanks to all of you for coming out on MLK Day and IU's Bicentennial Day for this memorable ceremony. Thank you very much.